Hello again. Of course, you didn't have to be a hideous monster to be an evil villain in Doctor Who. Many were simply fiendishly clever, power-crazed humanoids. Here's a look at as ugly and conniving a bunch of mischief makers as you're ever unlikely to meet. All of them trounced by our hero, Doctor Who.
The carcass!
You are my prisoners!
It's the carcass!
What? You will come out and put your hands above the head.
Doctor, I can't move. Help me! It is pointless to struggle. My quarks have used a molecular force to bind your bodies to the wall.
They have escaped before. They could do it again.
Not this time. I am in control.
And the Doctor? Will he die with the rest?
Why shouldn't he?
He seems to have a charmed life.
Let the old man die, and we'll watch the great Khan as he kills his strong enemy. McFire! McFire! Will I kill you now?
He must be here somewhere. Find him. Search.
I see. He has eluded us for the moment. So he is not yet completely under my control.
Proceeding as planned. Operation will be completed on schedule.
Good. All rockets are now in position. No further sign of the aliens?
Nope.
Good. Continue. Inform me when you're ready for the seed device.
Already I sense their will beginning to weaken.
Well, with us now are two companions from different eras. Elizabeth Sladen, who travelled with Jon Pertwee and Tom Baker, and Peter Purves, who accompanied William Hartnell. I bet it's making you nostalgic for those glamorous old days, looking at all these monsters here.
Oh, yes, I can't wait to get back in my thermal underwear again.
Yes, the glamour of French and Ponds and Eggenborough Council, Sandpit, wonderful, great location.
Is it as awful as they say it was? I mean, sort of terribly cheap and cheerful locations and costumes and...
Well, I think I saw every rubbish dump and every chalk pit in England. It wasn't desperately comfy. It was always in the winter when we seemed to film.
The scheduling was always tight as well. I mean, we didn't A, have the money, I suppose, but we didn't have the time to go very far afield. Had to be close enough to London and get back. Maybe we'd shoot most of it at the Ealing studios anyway. And then finally into the studio for the magic.
Peter, you were with the very first Doctor Who, but Elizabeth, you worked with two doctors. Did you have to kind of change your characterisation to suit them?
Oh, yes, it was great. It gave me, as Sarah, a great chance to adapt, because the two doctors, the thing is, they must be different. And Tom was very different from John, as they have to be. And it brought out facets of Sarah that were much more interesting for me.
Oh, yes. I thought your transition from Tom Baker to Jon Pertwee, or the other way around, was terrific. You were terrific as John.
I'm glad you worked in the family. You're keeping it in the family because you worked with the first Doctor as his companion. Now your son is on the set of the latest Doctor Who.
That's right, yeah, he was floor manager, and the one they shot at Rutland Water, I can't remember what it was, though. All sorts of monsters coming out of the deep. Yeah.
But things have changed a lot since you were both there. Now, when you watch Doctor Who now, are you sort of stunned by the sophistication of what's happening?
Well, I can't really believe in it because I'm not in it. I expect to keep it coming around a corner. So.
Yes, absolutely.
No, I think they are very different from when I was in it. The sound, the monsters. I suppose the audience is very different.
The thing that changed it for me was colour. I mean, we did it in black and white. It's in colour.
Do you think it's better in colour?
Not really. No,
yes, it is.
Do you? Oh, no, I love the black and white. I love the cardboard sets. They looked even more cardboard in black and white. But, yeah, it did change it. It became not more sophisticated, but different.
It was more eerie in black and white, wasn't it? Did either of you have favourite monsters?
Didn't like the monsters at all. I like the historical pieces.
Did you?
We had the Jumblies.
Elizabeth,
I was very fond of
forget
Alpha
monsters,
Centauri.
just give us a scream to see us out.
Oh, no, Peter does that so much better than I do.
Go on, Peter, give us a Oh, wonderful. That's enough to set John on edge. Over to you.
Well, there was something of a bleak time for Doctor Who fans in 1985 when Michael Grade decided to suspend production. The tabloid press went mad and accused him of axing Doctor Who. Well, this roused the masses of Doctor Who fans, and the switchboards were jammed, the letters of protest poured in, and as part of the campaign, a record and video were released.
It's amazing, isn't it? Doctor Who has had so many companions over the years, and we've met so many here today. Well, I do believe there's another one trying to contact us right now. Let me get her up on this machine. Aha! Welcome to 31 Who, Deborah Watling. Tell us, were you actually a fan of the series before you joined their cast?
I have to admit,
I did actually see the very first episode with William Hartnell, and I thought, oh, that's good. Then I have to admit, I didn't watch it very much after that until I knew I was going to be in it. And I thought, well, I'd better start watching now and see what's happening and what it's about. So I wasn't an avid watcher of it, no, because, of course, I was doing other things as well.
Well, you first appeared with the Daleks. What were they like to work with?
Quite extraordinary, really. I remember the first day of filming. We did some outside filming before we went into the studio. And there was Fraser there, and I was introduced to all these Daleks. And I played Victoria Waterfield, and I had a long crinoline on. And I think the first shot you saw of me was going down a passage in a very old house with two Daleks, one either side of me. And when I actually saw it on tape, on telly, I looked just like a Dalek as well, because you couldn't see my feet. So it looked like three Daleks going down this corridor. But they were fun to work with. They were a bit naughty, but they used to play games on me and come up behind me when I wasn't aware of it, and, well, I shall leave the rest to your imagination, really. But, no, they were nice. Yes, they were all right. It was very strange acting with this sort of small creature. I mean, it was nearly as tall as me, let's face it, because I'm only 5 foot. But I got used to it. I got used to it.
So what was your favourite episode?
Favourite episode? Well, my favourite storyline was Fury from the Deep, because that was really, I thought, a really good monster, the seaweed monster, because it was a menace. You didn't see it for a few episodes. You didn't see it. You knew it was there. You could hear it coming. I think it was a heartbeat you could hear, first of all, and I found that very eerie, and I thought that was a good storyline. I even went up in a helicopter in that one, so that was quite fun.
So what was the funniest memory for you?
It was the Yeti story. We were in the underground, London Underground, and I'd yet again been kidnapped by the Yetis, dragged off screaming. And Pat Fraser and my father, Jack Watling, who was playing Professor Travers, has to come along the line, trying to look for me, you know, find out where I am. And Fraser stops, they're walking along, one behind each other, walking along. And Fraser stops and goes, oh, Doctor, Professor Travers, look. Her hanky. Victoria must have gone this way. And, of course, they did the take, and I went, oh. Fraser said, oh, look, Doctor, Professor Travers. Her knickers. Oh, well, I died.
Are you still recognised as Victoria?
Yes, I am. It's quite extraordinary. I'm very flattered, I must admit, by the attention. I mean, let's face it, it was, 21 years ago now. And as I said, when I got it, I thought it was just another job. But recently, I mean, over the past 6 years, people have shown a lot of interest in they call it the monster era, and me. And, oh, I love it, yes. People come and say, I remember you as Victoria, as, I think, yes, yes. They say, oh, you haven't changed much. I said, well, I think I have, actually. Really, you know, a few lines here, a few lines there. But they said, oh, no, no, no. Oh, we did used to love you in that. And they actually tell you the episodes you were in, who directed them, and the other actors around you, and what you actually said at some point during the episode. So, no, it's fun. They still recognise me as Victoria.
And so they should. Deborah, thank you very much for joining us.
Well, the next story after the break follows on from the Keys of Marinus. Originally shown in 1964, it's the 6th Doctor Who adventure, and it's set at the time of the Aztecs in 1430. Ian Cullen of Z-Cars makes an appearance, and character actor John Ringham is the splendid villain of the piece. There is featured in this story the Doctor's one and only known love interest, a highly amusing scene with the Aztec lady Cameca. So join us after the break for the one time that there may have been hanky-panky in the TARDIS.